Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are right now. A very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you very much for your time today and the opportunity to demo the PurpleCube data analytics platform to you. My name is Rahil Khan, and I'm the VP for Sales and Strategy. Joining me today on this call are Shalini and Arjun, our data and analytics experts. Um, I have been engaged with most of you in the past few days, weeks, introducing the PurpleCube platform and the partner program. And today's session is a part of that progressive discussion that we are having to onboard you as a partner to jointly promote this disruptive technology in your market. So today on this call, we've got several partners from the Middle East, North Africa, and the UK. So we've got a good mix of partners across the region, and this session is going to be recorded. So we will be sharing this session later with you. And also, please write your questions if you have, and then you can send them to us via chat window or via email later, and then we will be happy to respond to those questions. We may or may not have time because this is quite an intense session today where we want to go a little deep into the platform. So before I hand over to Shalini and Arjun to demo the platform, I wanted to spend a few minutes to kind of refresh your memory on what we have been talking. So what are the core capabilities of the platform? So as we have been discussing, PurpleCube is an easy to use and cost-effective integrated analytics as a service platform, offering end-to-end capabilities from data discovery all the way to actionable analytics, addressing multi-industry data monetization use cases. With PurpleCube, our customers will not only get a revolutionary all-in-one platform, which combines data integration, cloud data warehousing, data cleansing, transformations, alongside the AI-driven analytics, but also they will get support from an award-winning team that has 100 plus years of combined experience in delivering complex and analytics projects. So if you look at the solution, how we have kind of bucketed it. So there are three pillars or core functions of the platform. So prepare, analyze, and then finally predict. Right. So when you talk about prepare, this is where you connect to your various data sources. You discover the data, you improve the quality of data, and then finally onboard that data to our platform. Right. Then we talk about the analyze. This is where the users will derive insights from the data via the AI-based search and analytics capabilities. And there are many more capabilities that are currently available and a few that are getting released very, very soon. Things like conversational analysis is something that we are beta testing. The next is the predict. Now, this is for more matured customers. We enable a data science environment so that they are able to then build AI ML based artifacts, train the models, tune them, and then finally deploy in production. We also provide reference models along with the platform, so that can also be used and then used as a reference model, tweak it and then deploy it as well. Our cloud data warehouse is a Snowflake, is on Snowflake, and currently the platform is available on AWS, and we are working to release it on GCP and Azure shortly. So yeah, this is kind of the summary slide, and this is kind of where I will end, and then we will get straight away into the demo. But just to highlight some of the core capabilities or features of the platform. So before that, our philosophy is very, very simple. So we want to take our customers from data discovery to actionable analytics in the quickest and the most cost-effective way possible. So that's the whole philosophy of PurpleCube platform, which means that going from data sources to search and AI-driven analytics in a matter of seconds and minutes, not hours or days or weeks or even months in a lot of other technology that are available. And how we achieve that is through these key features, and we'll just quickly walk through them. Yeah, quickly to summarize it, and I don't want to take too much of time, but really the objective was to talk about some of these key features, and Arjun will elaborate most of them as we get into the demo. But 150 plus pre-built connectors across different data sources, whether it is CRM systems, big data applications, whatever. Once the data is onboarded, we talk about the data profiling or data preparation, where we prepare the data. So defining the quality of data using some transformations so that we ensure clean and trustable data for the customers. The next cool feature is our AI-enabled search analytics. And this means that once the data is available, you can effectively run Google-like search on your data using natural language. So PurpleCube is able to scale through billions of rows in a matter of seconds, providing you the answers that you need much quicker and much easier for all types of business users. So that's something that is packaged in the platform. And then we take it to the next level where we are providing you with smart insights. The feature called Spot IQ, where you're able to then find answers to the questions that you have not even asked. Sometimes users are not able to put their thoughts together in terms of what questions to ask. So once they've connected to the data, depending on the dimension and measure, you can just run this feature, and then the system will provide you with some recommended KPIs and dashboards that you can use. The system also learns by itself based on your responses, so that it can give you some recommendations as you interact with the system from time to time. Finally, we are also provisioning a data science environment for our customers so that they can have a team of data scientists to explore the data and then build some predictive algorithms and AI capabilities. So that's part of the package. And then for verticals that we have predefined, dashboards and AI analytics, they can actually leverage. So this is banking as a telco and retail customers can then use our pre-modeled BI and dashboards to leverage the platform. Once the data is onboarded, these will start to function out of the box. And Arjun is going to explain and actually show how it works in the demo. So the bottom line is that we want to provide a platform that runs 100% faster than your traditional tools, because it's all on single platform. It's all tightly integrated from onboarding data to getting insights. So ultimately, it's faster time to value, right? So and from a cost perspective, it's really simple math, right? If customers were to go and buy best of breed, they would need an ETL, ELT, data integration, data quality, security, cloud data warehouse, infrastructure on cloud, BI, and then expensive professional services to make this whole thing work. So from a cost standpoint, we are saying that using PurpleCube, customers can save 6 to 10 times, from this from leveraging PurpleCube. So big value, very cost effective. We are looking at positioning this as an SMB product, while we will also be engaged with some enterprises who want to have an integrated analytics as a service platform. So I think, yeah, with that brief introduction, let me hand over to Shalini and Arjun to walk us through the live demo. Yeah, over to you, Arjun, Shalini.
Thanks, Rahil. Yeah, for today's demo, let us peep into a day in a leading telecom organization. Mark is the Chief Operating Officer who would like to have visibility into the customer acquisition trend and would like to drill down details more on factors like products, region, sales channel, etc. He also would like to forecast the gross additions to his customers for the next 6 months. John is his data analyst and Jenny is his data engineer. Let's see how Mark achieves this with PurpleCube platform in two scenarios. One, when Mark is a standard customer, and the second scenario when Mark upgrade himself to pro and enterprise customer. Let's move on to our PurpleCube platform. Yeah. So as a standard customer, what Mark would do is he would get his data engineer Jenny to help him onboard the data sets. Jenny knows what data sets need to be onboarded for getting Mark's insights. Let's go to the data management wizard, which is our PurpleCube Studio. Now, PurpleCube Studio is one of the integral modules of PurpleCube Analytics as a Service platform. This is an easy-to-use drag-and-drop browser-based user interface to prepare our data, as Rahil mentioned earlier. We can use PurpleCube Studio to build, monitor, and schedule data pipelines. We can turn raw data sets into analytics ready with applied data cleansing and transformation rules easily and quickly. This uses serverless data processing and push-down architecture, taking full advantage of the powerful processing platform. Let us see how Jenny onboards the associated data sets effortlessly in 3 simple steps with PurpleCube Studio. The first step will be connect to source and target system. Second step, specifying table or file or object that need to be processed. And thirdly, design the data flow, which is the flow of data from source to target. Now, for today's demo, let us consider a remote file server as the source and Snowflake as the target, which is our processing platform. As I mentioned, step 1 will be the data point creation. That means to connect to the source and target system. Let us go to our data point in the navigation pane and click on New. PurpleCube connects to a multitude of data sources using native or generic connectivity. Data points are used to establish the relationship between source, target, or the processing platform. Now, as you see on the screen, we have different connectors made that for the relational databases such as MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle, or NoSQL databases such as Cassandra, MongoDB. We also connect to files, structured or semi-structured, the Hadoop system, Hive, HBase, HDFS, etc. Any MPP platforms like Redshift, Snowflake, Google BigQuery, web services, and cloud and API based systems such as Salesforce, Twitter, Facebook, etc. PurpleCube has over 150 pre-built connectors and it's still expanding. Now, what Jenny needs to do is click on file server data point, give a connection name and click OK. She will be navigated into providing the other properties for her to attain the connection to the file server data point. All she needs to enter is the generic connection details such as host, port, username, password, etc. And the data point will be created. Once the details are provided, if she clicks on the test data point, we can then and there validate the connection establishment with the source. So let me just open a connection that is established. I have given the host name, admin, username, password, etc. Clicking on test data point, it gives me connections established successfully. Now, the second step that she needs to do is to specify which objects or which files she needs to bring in to process her data. We already have We already have the data point created, our file server data point. We can either create manually a new data object, or we can directly import the schema from the data point that we already created. So I'm going to select my data point created, click on server to list the files from my server, and as you can see on the screen, it provides me a quick view into the sample data sets, and on clicking next, it also provides me a prediction or a suggestion on the data types and structure, schema, precision that we need to apply. We can either choose to save this or edit as required and then save it. Now, similarly, she brought in other data sets that needs to be onboarded. Now, the third and last steps is to create the data flow, which is the flow of data from source to target, where she can specify what are the data quality rules or transformation rules that needs to be applied. This is the data flow screen that that is on the screen. On the left, we have the sources and targets that we can easily drag and drop into the designer window in the middle. In designer window is a place where we link these connectors with different transforms and actions. And we have several transform actions that can be easily brought into our design window for applying the transformation and the business quality rules. Now, as you see, we have the expression, which will help us to create expressions to apply business rules. We have joiners that will help to join data sets. We have splitter, filter, roll-up action. Roll-up can be used to perform calculations such as average, sum of selected attributes, finding average, minimum, etc. And we also have splitter function, which will help us to split one data sets into multiple based on certain conditions. Now, let's see how Jenny would have designed this data job. She knows that Mark require two specific data sets in order to get the acquisition details. One is the sales channel details and the other is activation details. Now, as I build this job, I can also toggle my interactive mode on so that at every step, I can see the results on the go on my screen to verify it. I need not wait till the end to see if the job is successful or not. So this is the sales channel file where we have the sales channel key, circle, head details, etc. And we have the subscriber activation details, which contains the customer activation details, the activated date, his MSISDN details, etc. These two data sets are joined using a joiner transform. All we need to do is provide the join condition, whether it is inner join and this condition to be specified. Once the data is joined, let us store it into a T-stage transform. T-stage is nothing but storing the data in a temporary data sets in Snowflake. This will be helpful for future use cases as well. So we allowed the joint data sets into a T-stage table, and then we are going to split the data based on two conditions. So Jenny knows that specifically Mark would want details on sales channels key. Here I have randomly selected two sales channel key, and the condition is provided to split data set. Now we connect this split data sets into two targets, which will load the data into two separate tables as required by Mark. Now let us run this job and see what all details can we see from the monitor window, which is an easy interface helping us to view the live stats of the data job execution. As you see, there are different multiple steps within this data sets, and right now my final two jobs are running. The job is successful, and also I can see the stats here, how many records got extracted from the source, how many records got loaded, and if at all there were any bad records that got rejected, that will also get listed here. This is one example of Jenny being Mark being a standard customer, how he gets Jenny to onboard data sets on her own. Now, let us see a few more data flows with some complex transformations applied. Now, when it comes to data, one of the tedious activity, one of the pain point is cleansing the data, right? And PurpleCube offers pre-built data cleansing components, which is very helpful when it comes to, it is just a menu driven click it's a menu driven click option. As you see on the screen, all the standard data quality rules are available to you as a click and choose option, like trimming the data, converting data into uppercase or lowercase, replacing nulls, etc. Any complex transformations or any complex data quality rules other than this can be also applied using the expression window. Now, this is one such data flow where data comes in from multiple sources. As you can see, two are from file sources and one is from a SQL server database. And how the roll-up activity is done, like averaging, rolling up values, filtering out only the required values, and applying data cleansing rules across. These data sets are joined, and in order to apply business rules, we make use of the expression transform. I would like to show one of such business case implemented here. As you can see, just want to segregate data into multiple segments like bronze, silver, gold. We can easily do that using symbol expressions. And the data set is then split based on the expression given, like into bronze, silver, and gold, and loaded into the different targets that is required. Let's also run this job and see that it goes to success. Yep, it is in the active state right now. And yeah, it is successful. Now, this is how Mark will need Jenny's help when he is a standard customer. Let's look into the case when Mark upgrades himself into a pro and enterprise customer. Here, Mark leverages the 3 exclusive features of PurpleCube. Pre-built domain-specific templates. These templates are created by our experts from various verticals. The pre-built BI dashboards, which gets auto-populated once the data is onboarded onto the platform. And third one, AI reference models, and which could be leveraged to create AI dashboards. So again, Jenny comes into play. She knows what exactly Mark needs. And with this pre-built template format, Jenny gets a pre-built target object already created for her. Okay, so she just need to map the source data into this target template format. So it will be quicker. Let me just show how Jenny achieves this. Yeah. So this is the target template structure, which is already available, readily available once she looks at the data flow. She is trying to sync the map the corresponding attributes from the sources. As in the earlier cases, we have two data files, and one of the data files, if it contain duplicates, we can remove the deduplication. We can apply deduplication and remove the deduplicates using the rollup function, and joining these data sets using the joiner transformation. Before running this job, I just want to show the corresponding BI dashboard. Let's look at the BI dashboard. Yes, and as you see on the screen, it is empty with 0 metrics. Now, once Jenny onboards the data, Jenny runs this job. Let's go into the monitor and see if the job is running successfully. It is in the active state right now, which means it is in the running state. And as you can see, we can see the live stats of the records onboarded. And once I refresh, yes, here it is. It extracted records from the source and loaded into target. Now let's go back to our BI dashboard and see, refresh. On refresh, we can see that the dashboard is populated with the required KPIs and metrics. And just one more point that we can see using our PurpleCube Studio. If we go back to our PurpleCube Studio, we have an option called SQL editor. Now, this is very handy. Often when you want to query your source or target database, generally you will want to have a separate client for you to view the data. Now, with PurpleCube, you get the SQL editor feature where you can query your source or target platform using this single interface. It will also list down all the tables which are there in the connection created by you as data points. So we can quickly query one of the table, like I just want to get count of one such table. Let me just choose any random table and use it for query. I can just click on it and run. It will provide me sample rows as well. So as you can see, we can also get the structure of the table which we queried. This is a very useful feature from PurpleCube, where you do not need to have any other interface to query your source and target. As you saw in my data points section, I had two database data points created, one for SQL Server and the other for Snowflake. The other one was file, which is not a query processed source. And even if we have connections like Salesforce, we can query those objects as well. Isn't it good having one single interface where you can bring in your data, view data, load it into target, cleanse, you get your analytics out of it. It's really cool, right? Now Arjun will showcase on the analytics part, where John, our data analyst for Mark, how he make use of PurpleCube as analytics platform to get more insights. Over to you, Arjun.
Thanks, Shalini. Hi, everyone. So what we just saw is a data engineer onboarding the data onto the PurpleCube platform to the data templates available with the PurpleCube for Pro and Enterprise users. And with that, we are having a ready pre-built dashboard available for the consumption. Generally, in a typical or a traditional environment with other analytical tools, what would have happened is it would have taken months or at least weeks to onboard the data and then build a dashboard for the consumption. But with PurpleCube, what we are promising here is like we are reducing those development effort to days. And just this is one use case wherein we have the subscriber acquisition details. We have multiple use cases under each vertical, like telecom, banking, and retail. For all those use cases, we will be getting ready dashboards. Like if the customer is going for a pro and enterprise version, they'll be getting those readily usable dashboards with all the required metrics, dimensions covered in each dashboard. So now Mark has got this dashboard just by onboarding the data by the data engineer. Let's see what Mark can do with this dashboard. So once the dashboard is available, if Mark feels that this dashboard needs to be shared with someone in the organization where he feels that user will be getting insights from this, you can just go ahead and select this share icon available here. Once he selects the share, based on the privileges and the user list accessible to Mark, he can select the user with whom he wants to share this dashboard. So let's say I'm selecting the PC user 2. So based on what kind of access we want to provide that user, whether it is just a view access or an edit access. So if with the view access, the user will be just able to view the dashboard, and then he will be able to copy the dashboard and then add his own insights. With the edit access, he will be able to add some uh, more insights to the existing dashboard, and he will be able to edit many things in the dashboard. So let's say we provide the view access. And if someone wants to copy and edit this dashboard, they can always select this make a copy. So with this, they'll be giving a new name for this copy, and this will be a new dashboard created under that user. And if he has the right privileges and the access to the underlying data, he can make modifications to that respective dashboard too. And once we have this dashboard, if a user wants to explore more on the existing visual or an insight, let's say for the pause acquisitions, I want to explore more. Here, the users need not have to learn anything explicitly like in other BI or traditional BI tools. Here, they just have to click explore. PurpleCube is intelligent enough to understand what dimension and measure you have defined in the visuals, and based on that, it will give you some smart suggestions. So based on my attribute and measure in this visual, I have got some suggestions. So let's say I want to filter it based on the network type. I want to see what is the acquisitions for the 4G network type. Now that filter is added. There are multiple available options with this explore data. We have filter, add, replace, and compare. What we just saw is a filter option. Let's say if I want to add another attribute to the existing visual. So I want to add the network type. I want to know the customers by 4G and 3G bifurcation. So I just added the network type, and I see that 4G and 3G bifurcation and the number of customers under each acquisition for that specific mall's point of sale for different malls. And now, if I want to replace the existing dimension, right now it is point of sale, and if I want to replace with any other dimension, I can always choose the suggestions from the suggestions, or I can utilize the length and breadth of the data set. Like you can select whichever dimension you're interested in and select that dimension. That dimension will be replacing the existing dimension. So right now, point of sale has been replaced by the Emirates, Abu Dhabi, Ajman, Dubai, all those things. So now if I want to compare two different values, and I want to see the network type by 3G and 4G. I want to compare these two different values. I say compare, I'll get a comparison of those values. And if I'm interested with this specific insight, if the user is happy with this insight, which he got from these guided suggestions, or by doing all those explorations with these options, he can just go ahead and say pin and pin to the existing dashboard. I'll select into the existing dashboard. It will give me a tick mark, and that visual will be added to the existing dashboard. And now, if someone wants to dig deeper, if they want to drill down into a specific visual, they can just go ahead and right click and say drill down. In all the other BI tools, what we generally see is if we have to do a drill down, we will have to define some hierarchies, and there needs to be some relationship defined in order to go about this drill downs. But here in PurpleCube, we are not restricting the users for any hierarchies. They can always utilize the complete data set and select whichever dimension they are interested in for that specific visual. So let's say for Galleria Mall, I want to see what is the subscriber status. I want to see by status what is the acquisition. So there are active subscribers who is 135 and inactive subscribers who is 19. Now let's say I want to dig deeper and I want to see what is the region in which these active subscribers are. So I will again go and drill down and I will select the region. I want to see which region those active subscribers belong to. So right now I can see that 70 of the subscribers belong to Ajman, 39 to Fujairah, and Malquain 26. So like this, if you want to just go dig deeper for a specific point, we can always do that with this drill down option, and it does not limit you by any hierarchies. So this is about the BI dashboard. Parallelly, with the onboarded data, if the customer has an AI use case, they can always utilize the reference model we provide with every use case. Like I said, with each vertical, we have multiple use cases, 5 to 6 use cases under telecom. So for each use case, we provide some reference models. Right now, what that model is doing is we are running that model on top of our sample data for gross ads forecast, and this is what we have, like actual and the predicted values. So we have it till 2020. That's why we just see uh, till December. So if we had data till December, so if we want to forecast, yes, if we populate more data for 2021 and then run that model, we will get some forecast for the next 5 to 6 months. So what it essentially means with PurpleCube is, like, with the same data set onboarded, if we have both BI and AI use cases, with BI, we can always utilize the PurpleCube analytics environment. And for AI, we'll be providing a AI platform wherein each customer, of course, even with the reference models, what it does is, like, they have a starting point. With the reference models, they get those starting points. They can go through those reference models and they can utilize it and tweak it as per their requirement and run those models on top of the data onboarded, and they get those outputs, and this can be plugged back to the PurpleCube AI environment, AI dashboard list. So with PurpleCube, what we just saw is PurpleCube subscriber acquisition use case, but we have many other use cases like usage. We have dashboards for multiple use cases, and we have dashboards for banking use cases also. And we have a very descriptive, like, very insightful dashboards available for each use case and each vertical. The customers can always utilize those templates and dashboards for the day one analysis. So what we just saw is a use case wherein they're using our PurpleCube templates and the dashboards. Let's say they're a standard customer and they just onboard the data and they do their analysis on their own. Now, Mark is a COO. He wants some insights out of the data, and he sends his requests. Like, he provides the requirements to the data analyst. So John is the data analyst in this case. So what can a data analyst do once the data is onboarded? We will see now. So let's say our first requirement is, like, Mark wants to know the subscriber. So before even me typing in the search bar, this is the search bar where the users will have to search that specific dimension or measure. It is very simple to use. Like, any user who has used YouTube or Google searches, they will be able to use our tool. That's how simple it has been made with PurpleCube. It's just like a Google-like search, and every user in the organization, there is no limitation that they have to be technically capable or technically equipped to use our platform. Any business user, he can go ahead and use this search bar to get insights on his own. Now let's see what a data analyst who has some knowledge about the data onboarded and the table details and dimensions and measures, how he will create a insight or visuals for Mark based on the Mark's requirement. First requirement from Mark is like he wants to know the subscriber count by the network type. So when I start typing network type, I get the network type there. And if I want to get it at a daily level, so he wants it at a daily level. So like in other tools, I don't have to get the date column and filter it and create some calculations for a date field. No, I don't have to do all those things. Once the data has been onboarded, and if it has date fields, there are pre-calculated measures available for those date fields. So I will just say daily. So now I will get that daily view. And so if I see my data, it is there from 2010 to 2020. But what Mark wants is just for last 3 months. For last 3 months, I don't have to do any calculations, or I don't have to bring in any date field. I will just say last 3 months in a general natural language. I get those calculations for last 3 months, last 3 months for each year, last 3 months for each quarter, last 3 months for each year. So I'll just say last 3 months, and my visual will change. And let's say it is for last 6 months. So now I have the data for the last 6 months. Now, what will John do is, okay, he's happy with the visual, and he will just go ahead and say, I'll pin it to a dashboard. So he'll create a pinboard. Pinboard is nothing but dashboard in PurpleCube. So he will create an acquisition pinboard. He'll say, add it. And once the tick mark appears, it will be pinned to the pinboard. Now, let's take a second requirement wherein we want to see the migration type by Emirates for the subscribers. So I want to see the subscriber, and I want to see the migration type, whether they're migrated from postpaid to prepaid or prepaid to postpaid, those kind of migration types by Emirate. So I'll do an Emirate. By default, I'm getting some visuals, but if I want to do a cross tab, I can always do a cross tab and I will get the values. And if we want to pin this cross tab, we can always pin this cross tab to the pin board. Or else if we want a visual, and now I'm getting bars and I'm not satisfied with this chart. So I will go ahead and select this chart option, wherein based on the dimension and measure selected, I get a plethora of options wherein I can select the visual where it has been highlighted. Based on the attribute and measure, it highlights which one I can choose for this selections. So I will say I'll go with Sankey. So now I can see my migration type by the Emirate. So I like this visual. I will just go ahead and add it to the acquisition dashboard. And now this is added to the acquisition dashboard. Let's say the last requirement from Mark, wherein he wants to see the subscriber count by Emirates. Again, I'm getting a bar chart here, and I will just change it to pi. And if I want some details around that, I will just go ahead and select the data labels. It will give me the value and the percentages for that pi. And I will add it to the acquisition dashboard. So what we just saw is a business user taking the help of a data analyst, which is a traditional use case wherein all the business users will not be technically equipped, but they will take the help of data analysts to create the dashboards for them. But PurpleCube is more easier and more convenient for even the business users to use and get their insights on their own. So with PurpleCube, what we promise is once the customer adapts PurpleCube in their organization, we promise that all business users sending those ad hoc requests to the data analyst will drastically reduce because they will be exploring the data on their own and getting their own insights. Let's see how a business user would do. Let's say the business user does not know what attribute or measure is available in the data set, but he just knows about his business and he wants to see the numbers for his business. Let's say I'm someone who is in charge of Safir Mall, and I want to see the acquisitions for January 2020, and I want to see the number of acquisitions in the January 2020 for Safir Mall. So I will go ahead and say uh, subscribers, and I will say Safir Mall. So Safir Mall, if you see here, it is not a column in the data set. It is a value inside the table. It is a row level value inside the table. So with PurpleCube, what we are doing is like we are even searching the data. So when I start searching the value, it will give me that value. So I will select the Safir Mall here, and I want to see for 2020. So a business user need not uh, go and select the date column again here. He can just select the year value and say 2020, and he will get the year 2020 number of acquisitions here. And if he's not comfortable defining that year also, he can just go about the keywords which is used in the PurpleCube. So let's say last year. So now we are in 2021. Let's say last year is 2020. I want to see the acquisition. So it is 157. So he can just go ahead and say last year. And if he wants for the month January, just start typing Jan. You'll get the suggestions like which one we want to use. We will say last year January, and I will get the last year January number. And again, if someone wants to do a comparison between this year and last year, or 2019 versus 2020, they just have to do 2019 versus 2020, and they'll get that quick comparison. They don't have to do anything special. They don't have to have the technical knowledge. They just have to know some keywords, and they start searching, and they do this kind of searches. They will get those insights. So this is how a business user can utilize PurpleCube and get his insights on his own, and this will reduce the ad hoc requests drastically, and data analysts or visualization experts can focus on creating some complex dashboards, and ad hoc requests is reduced for them. So this is about the second use case. Now let's talk about an embrace feature. Embrace feature is something which is available with PurpleCube, wherein we can connect to the modern and cloud data warehouses. Let's say there are a few organizations who have the analytically consumable data available on their warehouses, and those warehouses are cloud warehouses or the modern BI warehouses. They can just come here to the Embrace and say add connection. They can select from the 6 options. Let's say they have their warehouse on Snowflake or Redshift or BigQuery, Azure Synapse, Teradata, or SAP HANA. They just have to give this connection name and specify the connection details, and select the tables. I will show you a connection which is already established. So in this connection, I have taken Snowflake. So I have just defined a connection name, and then I'll say continue. Here I will provide my account name and other details, username and passwords. Then we can see here, these are the schemas which is available for this specific users, and under these schemas, there are many tables. So he can select the table. So I have already selected 7 tables here. So I can get this list, and I can see what all columns has been added. And if I don't want to add few columns, I can always deselect it and then say update. I will have all those tables within ThoughtSpot. What happens with this Embrace connection is there is no data transfer from the cloud data warehouses or the modern data warehouses into the PurpleCube environment. it is the data is still residing at the source, and whenever the query is run from our analytics platform, the query will be run on the powerful data warehouse which the customer has, and they will be getting faster retrievals and faster insights. So this is one specific use case. And let's say a data has been onboarded onto the platform, and let's say I have onboarded this particular data onto the platform, and now it is available, and I don't want to do any searches also. Let's say it is some business user and he does not want to do any searches also, but he wants some automated insights. PurpleCube has a feature called Spot IQ, which is an AI enabled feature which helps in providing those automated insights. What the user has to do is, once the data has been onboarded, he needs to come here and select this elliptical icon and say Spot IQ Analyze. So with this Spot IQ Analyze, we will get two options wherein we can select the columns which we want to be analyzed. We can select or deselect here. I will select all this. But if someone is technically equipped, like he understands the data science features or he understands the algorithms, he can always go and refine the parameter. The user can refine those parameters or select the algorithms which he wants to be run on this specific data set, and run the analysis. But right now, let's do a simple analysis. I will just select these columns and I will say analyze. And now, once I go under the Spot IQ tab, my analysis is in progress. Let's see how much time it takes. So now my analysis is ready. So with this analysis, what I'm getting is, it gives me an idea of how many insights it found. So Spot IQ found 16 insights by analyzing this many rows in this like less than 10 seconds. So when I go through the list of those insights, there is a tabbed version of it. Like in the single view, we can get two different visuals. So we can go through these insights one by one. And with every insight, the beautiful feature of PurpleCube Analytics is gives a description of what is happening with the visual. It gives and it talks about what is happening with the visual and gives the insights on those visuals. So if I feel this visual is relevant, I can just go ahead and select this pin to the existing pin board. So this is much easier and much simpler for those users who did not know anything about the data and they wanted some automated insights. They can just come here, generate those automated insights, and pin it to their dashboards and have access to those dashboards and have a view on it. So once these insights have been added to the pin boards, those pin boards will also always be available here. So ACQ is something which I created now, and so those whatever insights I added to the dashboard is available here. And now, right now, it is not like beautified. Like if you want to resize it or if you want to change the names of those visuals, we can always do it. So there are some predefined layouts available with PurpleCube. So for this, I will select this size. And again, for this, I will select the size. So we can just beautify these pin boards. And if we want to change the titles, we can always change the title here. I'm happy with the title. I will just save it as it is. And once you have done those changes, you can just save changes. And again, similarly, once this insights has been found, if we feel we need to share it with a user, we can just go ahead and select the user list. And from that user list, we can provide the required privileges for that user to utilize this dashboard. Right now, I have provided that edit privileges for the user too, and he will be able to use this dashboard for further analysis. And he will be able to add insights on top of this existing dashboard because I have provided an edit access. Yeah. So that's about the analytics platform in PurpleCube. Uh, Over to you, Rahil.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Arjun. And I think it was quite an elaborate session. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope that this session was useful and it provides you with enough confidence in the platform so that we can then promote this together in your market. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions. What I would say is please send them via email to me, and what I will do is I'll schedule a one-to-one call with each one of you to clarify those questions, and then hopefully complete the onboarding process in the coming days. If there are technical questions, I'll get help of my technical team to join me into those discussions, and we will ensure that each of those questions are answered so that we are very clear on how we are progressing with our partnership. So I guess with that, we would like to conclude the session. Once again, thank you very much for your time today, and have a great day ahead. Thank you, everybody.